Hello my fellow Cybertronians, I'm Mr. Mighty, back again with another Transformers toy review. So today I want to look at and show you guys the Fractured Friendship 2-pack. This is actually something that I got for my birthday this year, a few months ago. And I am very happy with it. And I decided I wanted to do a toy review on this because I absolutely love this 2-pack. So before we start looking at the figures themselves, we're going to have a quick look at the packaging. So of course, up front we have the main image. We have Gladiator Megatron, because this was when he as a champion gladiator, and the crowd named him Megatron. And the Orion Pax when he worked as an archivist in the Iacon Hall of Records, although this one has it shown as he's a security officer, which this could have been when he's getting closer to the Optimus Prime, and you'll see that eventually later. So amazing detail about this thing is just how much ideas they put into the artwork just to make this look so amazing. And I'll just adjust the camera. So first we'll look at Orion Pax, because this is not Optimus Prime yet. So here we have his gun, which you will get in his toy form, being charged up from Energon. Cord must be going somewhere on the wall. And here we see the face of someone that kind of looks like Blitzwing. So if we bring in Blitzwing right here, we can actually see that it does really look like Blitzwing. Let's bring this camera. It looks almost exactly like Blitzwing, and I reckon maybe this means Blitzwing is some kind of criminal? Possibly. Anyway, I like this kind of locker room kind of area. This looks really nice. You see it says security back there, and you see Orion Pax contemplating something. Something is puzzling the mind of the soon-to-be Optimus Prime. And then over here we have Gladiator Megatron. He's clearly conquered a battle in the great pits of Kaon, because they both actually come from different cities on Cybertron. Orion Pax is from Icon City, the more luxurious, more fancy kind of city of Cybertron. Where they're more luxurious, or the more higher class. And then we have Megatron, who's from the pits of Kaon. Kaon was a very rough city on Cybertron, and then Megatron claimed it as his own and made it the Decepticon capital once the war broke out. Because that's where he rose to power. He became famous on Cybertron because he was a gladiator there. I just adjust the lighting so not having the glare all over the boxes. Alright, so yeah, here's Megatron in the pits of Kaon, gladiatorial days. As you can see, he has his hammer here, which is one of his weapons. He also has a lot of these red markings, which you will also see when we have a look at the toy form. I reckon these are probably gladiatorial marks, possibly. That's why it kind of looks like blood. It's pretty cool. Here we have more of a hallway. We see his sword kind of stabbed into the wall. So maybe while he's fighting the gladiatorial pits, he just thrown his sword and it landed into there. We see a severed hand and a gun, obviously parts scattered around from the battle. And here is the more gladiatorial pits where they would fight. As you see on this little stand here, there is a sword, which looks pretty cool, which again reminds me of Blitzwing's sword. Let me just grab it right here. Kind of. Does anyone else see that it kind of looks like Blitzwing's sword besides this part right here where's the gap? It does really look like Blitzwing's sword, like a more, I don't know, like more king-like sword version of Blitzwing's sword. That's crazy. Anyway, so here you see the roaring crowd, where fans would watch the great gladiator Megatron. And here we have someone who's looks like he's too afraid to enter the pits. Which, good luck to you, buddy. You won't survive long against the champion. And some little controversy. Whoa. It's the Autobot symbol. The gladiatorial pits before the Autobots were even a thing. Yeah, let me try to. I'm trying to get it to focus so you can get a better look at that. I swear I'll get it. Don't worry. Okay, maybe that might be the best. So, we have an Autobot symbol here, way before the Autobots were even founded, because the Autobots were actually a resistance force from the Decepticons. Okay, that's the best we're gonna get. So, the Decepticons came first, and the Autobots were made as a rebellion against them. So, to see the Autobot symbol there, that's interesting. When I first got this box, I was looking at all the details to see like, oh, is there any kind of hidden references or anything? And then I saw that symbol and I was just like, whoa. It kind of reminded me of that scene in Transformers Prime when Ratchet's telling the story about Optimus Prime and Megatron, about how they were once friends and how, you know, Optimus was once around Pax. And there's that scene where we first see Megatron in the pits of Kaon as a gladiator, and you can see on one of the doors that there's an Autobot symbol way before the Autobots were even made. And so it's just like, whoa, hang on. What? It's crazy, like, it's like, hang on. How could the Autobots be made before the Decepticons were made? Conspiracy. Anyway, so that's this other side. Here we have the more product placements of the two characters. We have D16. As you can see, D16, I keep thinking it's D16. It should be D16, but no, this is Megatron because he's a gladiator. So, here we see he has the different weapons, accessories. He has his sword, a hammer, and then his tools from when he worked in the mines. He has a pickaxe and a drill, and this is a drill part that attaches onto his arm. Here he has his drill tank, vehicle mode. This is what he transforms into. 16 steps to go from robot mode. Can I have like actual focus with this? Oh my god. Anyway, so he goes from this Megatron to this tank, this drill tank, which is pretty cool. And here we have Orion Pax. Here's his vehicle mode. And so this is 26 steps to go from here to here. And we also see, little spoilers, but there's the Matrix leadership chamber in his chest, which is right here. You just open this part and then you see the Matrix right there. And so that's the back of the box, and this is still not focused. There we go, that's better. And here we have a really, really beautiful Legacy United artwork. We have all the different characters there. 40th anniversary, because last year was when this set came out, and it was the 40-year anniversary of Transformers. And I actually went to my local cinemas at Chermside, which is where I usually go for my toy hunts for those two videos. And I actually watched the 40th anniversary event with my mum, and it was an amazing time. So I really, really enjoyed it. Not much in the box, barcodes, all that. Nice design, Cybertronian design, I like that. And here's the top, we have Legacy United, Fractured Friendship, Megatron vs Orion Pax. Although, since he's a gladiator, it makes more sense, but you know, he is Optimus Prime, so like, war, fight. And I reckon that's all we have for the box, besides the Transformers right here, logo, Takara Tony, Hasbro, 8 and up. I am way up. But alright, let's move on to the figures. And here we have the Fractured Friendship, the brothers in arms turn to enemies at war, Orion Pax and Megatron. Both looking absolutely amazing. They look absolutely fantastic, and it's still just like a wow factor to have them both especially since this Orion is my first Orion Pax figure in my collection, and it's just amazing. And this is my first version of the Megatron Siege mold. I haven't gotten the Siege Megatron or Earthrise Megatron, sadly, or any of the other versions of this figure. But I am looking online, as with many other Transformer figures, and I hopefully will get them sometime soon. So, this is a reuse of the Siege Megatron toy, and this toy is actually a reuse and remold of the Studio Series Gamma Edition Optimus Prime. So I'm actually going to just put a picture right up here. And so that's the look of the Studio Series Gamma Edition Fall of Cybertron, War for Cybertron Optimus Prime, which is where this mold comes from. And you'll see, for those of you who do have the figure, you will see a lot of what has been redone and what is still there. So first we're going to look at Gladiator Megatron, and then we'll look at the Orion Pax figure. So here is Gladiator Megatron in all his magnificent Megatronic glory, which is amazing to have, and he looks absolutely fantastic. Across this figure you can see different marks on him. There's his knees, on his waist, on his chest, on his shoulders, and then on the back here there's the marks there and here, and then and there's also of course on this head right here, which makes the M, and then what makes it look like his eyes, kind of makes it look like he has blood coming out of his eyes, which is nice. Gladiator mode, kind of gladiator look. It does remind me, I'm not sure of his name, I think it's Kratos from this it's from this game. I haven't played it and I don't know that much about it, but I've seen a photo of this guy and he has the red markings on his face, and yeah, that's probably like, yeah. For those of you who know, you know, and if you do know, can you please tell me what his name is? I'll probably look it up later. But yep. So yeah, this is Megatron, and he's actually a really, really cool figure, and I really love him. A lot of people I've heard are not really a big fan of the Siege Megatron mold being reused so many times. I reckon if you have a mold that works, use it. You know, I have no problem with it, and I actually do hope to get every version of this mold, because they all look good, and I kind of want to make it look like he's going through the different ages, the different stages of Megatron, and I want to get them all to get that kind of comparison and going through his different stages of his life. And yes, I reckon this is really cool. It would have been so great to have seen this kind of version of Megatron in Transformers 1, back when he was a gladiator instead of only just working the mines, but I still love that movie, and you guys all know that is my absolute favorite Transformer movie, and yeah. But this is absolutely amazing. This is Gladiator Megatron, and it's so, so good. He does have all these grill pieces. I love the face sculpt. I love how well that looks, and the camera is focused for a second. There we go. That's a look at the face, and I just reckon it looks absolutely amazing. He looks really amazing. This looks really good. So his backpack does come out like this, because this part right here is like the tank treads, so it's kind of forms like this backpack kind of thing. I don't really mind. It gives him some extra beef, which is pretty cool. You have to make it look strong, like Megatron, leader of the Decepticons. If I could. Although not yet, he's not leader yet. You're Gladiator Megatron. I will soon be the leader of the Decepticons. All hail Lord Megatron, everybody. Yeah, so it's really cool. Here are the legs, very sculpted detail. I love that. Now these parts kind of like these probably like some kind of tank details, like treads, not treads, like ventilation kind of things. But I kind of like to think of them as like scratch marks, although he does have them on both sides. But I like to think is, you know, he's a gladiator, so he'd have some scratches on him, which would have been cool if they actually painted some scratch marks on this guy, besides just the red like splashes of paint on him, which must be some kind of gladiator thing. Not fully sure. He does have all these different tabs and ports on there around him, so you can give him all his accessories. But yes, that's really like all the details on him, and yeah. Now we're gonna have a quick look at all of his weapons, because he does actually have a few. So these are all his accessories right here. So first he has this kind of drill piece. It comes apart like this, and then you can like change some of the parts around to make different weapons. So this is like the drill piece right here, and so it just like slots in right that. And what I like to do is kind of as a little nod to the fact that he has a fusion cannon, or he will eventually. I like to peg it in right here, so then he has this kind of like drill piece right here. And I can just imagine when he was working in the mines, he just have his drill piece come out of his arm and just it turned like this, and he just starts drilling into the mines. You know? So that's what I like to do. He also has this sword, which you do see on the box, and I reckon this looks really cool. It has this nice like fiery effect, as this like a burning fire sword, which is pretty cool. He does have this tab. The sword does have this tab like right here, so you can like put into slots of it on his shoulders. Which, if you want to keep all the weapons on him, you know, when he like on your display, you just put it there, and then it works like that. And it just slots in like that, like the other handheld weapons. And then he has a sword where he can slice down his victims, be the champion of the gladiatorial pits. So that's pretty cool. So that's the sword. He also does have this hammer, which is pretty cool. If this will focus. Yep. There you go. So this is like his Energon hammer kind of weapon. Looks really cool. This doesn't come apart at all, but it's really nice to have this very Energon like hammer. And this also goes into his arm. And I'll put this in that arm and put this sword back in here. That way he has both his weapons ready to fight in the gladiatorial pits. So that's pretty cool. Just smash down and stab, or if you stand up, you can go raw and then finish just or just pull out his drill and just go. I paint a picture, don't I? I paint a pretty picture. But yeah, there we go. And I'll also take that out again. So we also have this pickaxe weapon that you just like slot right in here, and it's pretty cool. So you can have him like back when he was working in the mines, he'd use the drill and use the pickaxe to mine for Energon. He'd just do all of the work that he was forced to do back in the day before he was a gladiator. And another thing you can do, which I think is pretty cool, is you can take this off. And another cool thing is that, I forgot to mention, he also has this more Energon effects similar to the hammer. So these both have their Energon effects being pink. So what you can do is you can take this apart right here, and then what I like to do is I grab the gun, the drill, take that part off, take this top part of the pickaxe, get this drill piece, plug it in there like that, and then I put this into here, which goes into this slot right here. Plug that into there, and then grab this piece right here, which is the handle for the axe. Plug it in there, and it kind of looks like he has this kind of crossbow looking arm gun for him. And I reckon that's pretty cool. This would be amazing to see. Just have him like giant crossbow on his arm, just shoot it out like that. So that would be really, really awesome. And so then, yeah, you just have that for looking for Megatron, and it looks absolutely amazing in my opinion. And just grab his sword again, put it back in there, grab his hammer, and then there you go. And so there's all his accessories: his pickaxe, his hammer, his sword, and his drill, all to make Megatron the great gladiatorial champion. And now we're gonna look at Orion Pax, back when he was the small and humble librarian, the archivist from Iacon. So, here he is. Now, like I said earlier, he is a reuse of the mold of the Game Boy Edition Studio Series Optimus Prime. And you can definitely see a lot of that in here, which I sadly don't have that Optimus Prime in my collection, but you know, I'm looking online for him. So here he is, in all his Orion Pax glory, which looks absolutely amazing. I think I've heard some people say they don't really like the fact that this is here, that this front of the car is right here on this back. I actually don't mind it. I reckon it looks pretty cool. It's pretty cool. He has small smokestacks on the other side of his shoulders. And he has these little gun things on his arms, so he can either do what he did in Transformers 1 with the like flamethrower effect, or he has these kind of little, can't see it, what kind of reminds me of the Mandalorian. You know, for those who've watched the show, like he has this little mini rockets, which I'm also looking for the Transformers Mandalorian crossover, which would be pretty cool. So yeah, I really love this. You know, whole design. This just really gives him a very Optimus Prime feel, even though he's supposed to be Orion Pax, and I just, like I said, I absolutely love it. It's amazing, and I could go way more into this, but then we'll be here all day. So he has a classic Optimus Prime color scheme: the red, the blue, the grey, and a little bit of yellow. He looks absolutely amazing, exactly like he would on Cybertron before he becomes a Prime, before he, you know, goes to Earth as well. He has these smokestacks on the side, he has the grill pieces, he has the toes, he has blue hands, the red chest, his battle mask, little crest piece on his head, and a classic look. And then in his chest, like you saw in the box, you can open it up, and here he has the Matrix chamber, where he gets the Matrix of the ship, where the Matrix of the ship is stored in his chest. Let's see, I can try to focus on that. There we go. So here is the Matrix chamber, which it doesn't have a lot of detail on the sides or much paint, but it has a lot of detail right here, and that's all you can really ask for, I guess, sometimes. So this Matrix is removable. Although due to the way his hands are sculpted, you can't actually have him holding the Matrix, but that's alright. You know, it's alright. It's still really cool to have the Matrix. So here it is. It's only like half. If I can get the camera to focus, which I'm trying to. I'm really trying to get the camera right now to work with me. Nope. Okay, it's not working. It's just focusing on Prime. Light out, darkest hour. Light out, darkest hour. Okay, well, here's the Matrix. And this is just exactly how the Studio Series Game Boy Edition Optimus Prime's Matrix looked. I'm guessing. I've seen the toy reviews, and it looks like this. And then it just slots right in here. And there we go. Now we can become a Prime. Now, at first I was thinking, well, since he's Orion Pax, it doesn't make sense that he has the Matrix yet. But I was thinking, like, this could be the moment when he becomes Optimus Prime, when he's just about to turn into Optimus. Right? So he's still Orion Pax, but he's just about to transform into the mighty Optimus Prime. And so it's just really how about you know, how you use your imagination, I guess, you know. And I absolutely love this design. And now we have a quick look at Orion Pax's accessories. Now he only has one, that being his Ion Blaster, which is a reuse of the Studio Series Game Boy Edition Optimus Prime gun, which would transform out of his arm. And you can actually still take off his arm right here like this, and then it's just like that. Although because they added this additional part right here, to get the camera to focus, since they added this light grey piece in here, it actually removes the ability to plug this into the arm like the Game Boy Edition Optimus Prime. So you can't actually have this in his arm, so now it's just a handheld weapon. But you just have to, you know, like his Ion Blaster, like every other continuity. and it just slots in right there to his hand, and it fits perfectly. Yeah, there you go. Saying that as I was struggling to get it. But there you go, it looks really good. I have no complaints about this because it's probably before he could activate any weapons from in his arm. Like he didn't install any weapons, so he didn't put any subscription upgrade onto his body. But yeah, so I reckon it actually looks really cool for his gun, and he can still do little cool poses with it. And just point around. And the box did say that he is a security officer, so this could have been when he got a promotion and got his first weaponry as a guard.
It's like, stay away from the files. That's my job now.
But there we go, so that's his accessory. But he also does have these little pieces here that just come off. They're just on his both sides of his arm. So these come off, and then it goes in here. And then another accessory he has, which was already in his chest, and that being the Matrix. And like I showed earlier, that can just pop right out and just pop right back in, and then there you go. So those are the accessories for Orion Pax. And now we'll jump straight into comparisons. So first we have Rise of the Beast Studio Series Optimus Prime. My only other proper Megatron, which is Studio Series Revenge of the Fallen Megatron. Here we have Earthrise Starscream. Studio Series Bumblebee movie Soundwave. Studio Series Rise of the Beast Bumblebee. Legacy Elita 1. Studio Series Boeing movie Ironhide. Earthrise Wheeljack. Legacy United Slipstream. And Studio Series Gamer Edition Decepticon Soldier. Now, and here is my makeshift Transformers 1 cast. All before they lost their friendship. So first we'll look at Gladiator Megatron's vehicle modes. So obviously this is before he updated to a more violent tank. So he's still like a kind of drill tank kind of vehicle right here, which is pretty cool. The turret spins, it tries to roll so he can move around. He does have his feet hanging on the back. That's pretty cool anyway. Here we have the rolling wheels, so you can see his head right there. So you can go, peekaboo, I see you.
Now run, pathetic humans. I see you. Run, humans, run.
Rolls, which is pretty cool. Drifting tank. Yeah, so turret spins all the way around. It's pretty cool. Got stuck on this knee piece right here. And so that's pretty cool. I reckon the transformation was really fun, very interesting designs. It was very cool how they managed to convert these Transformers from robots to vehicle mode. It's amazing how each Transformer is so unique and so different about how they can change their looks and appearance into these, and it's a toy that we can hold in our hands. It's absolutely amazing. It's sometimes I can't believe that Transformers is existing, because it's a brand that's gone on for 41 years now, and it's fantastic and still never ceases to surprise me. It is always so amazing. I am aware that it shares the exact same transformation and the exact same mold as the original Siege and Netflix series design, but it honestly does not bother me at all. It's a transformation that works. It's a Megatron that works for me, and I love it. So I'm just very, very happy that I got this in my collection, which is fantastic. And now, rolling into battle, who could be but the mighty Optimus Prime? Who could it be but the mighty Optimus Prime? Oh, Orion Pax is now known. Ooh, spin. Ooh, oh, wow! That was a good spin. Alright, I'm very happy with that. That's pretty good. Anyway, so here is his Cybertronian truck design, which I absolutely love. He still has the smokestacks from the Studio Series Gamer Edition Optimus, but they definitely changed the look up, and I absolutely love it. The original toy, you can't see the hands, and if you bring up the feet here, you can see them right there. But they've made sure to kind of split the feet and have a wrap around the back of the truck, which is really cool. And there's little gun accessories go on the side here, so they can be little boosters or little thrusters, use them to go around. He does roll amazingly well, which is absolutely fantastic. It is so great how they managed to get this design. I reckon this is exactly what an Optimus Prime vehicle mode would look like back on Cybertron, and I am very happy that this looks as amazing as it does. I like the window look for him, that looks nice. It just looks absolutely amazing. There is this random gap right here, but it's just like it's a small thing, so I'm not worried about that. But I reckon that looks amazing. And it's kind of similar with the Megatron. I absolutely love the transformation. It's so unique and it's integrative of how they reuse parts from the route mode to make such a convincing Cybertronian alt mode. And it looks spectacular. Like if I ever went to Cybertron and I saw that, I'd be like, yep, that is Optimus Prime. Like no doubt about it. That is Optimus Prime, and it looks fantastic. Chef's kiss to you, Optimus, or Orion Pax. I love you. Mwah. It looks so great. And here we are for vehicle mode comparisons. First we have Studio Series Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime. Studio Series Revenge of the Fallen Megatron. Studio Series Rise of the Beast Bumblebee. Earthrise Starscream. Earthrise Wheeljack. Studio Series Bumblebee movie Ironhide. Gamer Edition Decepticon Soldier. Decepticon Soldier, there we go. Studio Series Bumblebee movie Soundwave.
Oh, there, Lord Megatron.
Legacy United Slipstream. And Legacy Elita 1. And there we have it, my review of the Transformers Fractured Friendship 2-pack of Security Guard or of the Archivist Orion Pax and the Gladiator Megatron. I reckon this 2-pack was probably inspired by the Transformers 1 story or the Atlanta continuity. In my eyes, when I look at the set, I think of the Transformers 1 movie and think that they could have told a story with this if they like just with these figures as well, because it's an amazing story and it's a sad one as well. And I reckon like a lot of people can definitely relate to this kind of story, you know, like having brothers or like someone you're really close with, you know, you're having like having a friend you're really close with for so long that you think of each other as like brothers or sisters in arms, and then one thing leads to another and you lose that friend, and it's this very sad thing. But it's such an iconic story for these two characters of Optimus Prime and Megatron when they were brothers in arms or when they're best friends, and then they just become enemies at war. It's sad, but it's just an amazing story to watch, and it's why I love Transformers 1. because it tells this amazing story of these two iconic characters in the light that we haven't seen them in, you know, live action or any other kind of media. Like, this is the first time we're seeing it on screen, this full fleshed out backstory of these two, and it's amazing. And that's why I love this pack so much, and which is why I decided to do a review on it, because I love the story that's behind the toys. It's absolutely amazing and I love it. So that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. For those of you wondering when I might be doing that live stream that I said I was going to do in my toy collection video, because in that video I said I was going to do a live stream, and I reckon I said a few other video ideas that I want to do. I am going to do that. I didn't lie, I'm definitely going to do those types of videos. I'm just trying to find the right time when I can do it properly without any interruptions, where I can just do it all at once. Not all of the videos, but like for the live stream example, I want to find a day where I have like plenty of time to do that, so I can, you know, do it properly, you know. But anyway, so that's in the future, and I'm really happy with today's toy review. I reckon this went pretty well. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm Mr. Mighty, reminding you guys to begin the assault.